Hello my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. So I just wanted to pop in today to give you guys like a short little update to let you guys know what's been up with me. I know I haven't posted a video in like a month to my channel, and I just wanted to say that was like not necessarily intentional. You guys know that I started off this year with the intention of like wanting to make sure that I do my one video a week. However, a couple of weeks ago, I was just making videos and they weren't clicking with me for whatever reason. And the more effort I put into them, I feel like the worse I felt like they became. Like I just felt like the effort was just causing more resistance. So I decided, okay, let's take a break, let's regroup. And of course, at roughly the same time, the world stage, right, is now embroiled in a kind of unprecedented event. And so I really wanted to share with you guys some thoughts about what's going on in the world. First of all, I wanted to say that, hi, I'm here for you, right? I know that a lot of people are keeping themselves quarantined, people are staying home, and all of that is great. I definitely think that we need to be like following the guidance of the powers that be. And I see online, it's interesting that there's like some people who are like resisting it. And I know that for some people, and for me as well, because I am like a rebel type tendency, I do like to resist authority. But in this situation, I would definitely say that although that right now it might feel like things are in a little bit of chaos, there absolutely is a plan that's like being made, right? It may not be like being made so far out, but like there is a plan that's being put in place by the higher powers, right? In this example, and I don't mean like God, although definitely he's involved in this, right? But I mean like government officials, professionals, there's a plan. And so when they tell us to do something, I think it's important that we execute on the plan because they're looking at this whole situation with everybody that's under their umbrella in mind, where we might be thinking like, oh, I really want to go out to the store, I really want to go out to do this. We're only thinking about ourselves, right? So I think it's really important to listen to what we're being told because there are people who are making plans that are going to be there for everyone's best interest. And so, yeah, we have this unprecedented event going on right now. And, you know, there is a lot of like drama going on in the media. This is a once in a lifetime thing. Like this is more than once in a lifetime. Like usually these things don't happen on such a global scale. And I think that's because of the really, truly interconnected nature of the world at this point. But the thing that I've been thinking about with all of this is that I know a lot of people are feeling isolated, right? And that was the first thing I wanted to say. Sorry, you know me, I go off in tangents. If you're feeling isolated, I want you to know that you're not alone, right? You're not alone. We still have a virtual community here on the internet, right? Me and you, our relationship doesn't actually change, which is awesome. So if you feel like you need help, if you feel like you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. There may be more of you who are at home now, who are either working from home or have been, placed on some sort of leave. And so I would really like to interact with you guys a little bit more and kind of be a support system for you in the way that I can be. Obviously, right, I'm not going to be able to come over to your house and hang out, right? But if you want to like message me, if you're feeling any sort of way, if you feel like you need tips or something, you can reach out to me and I'm here for you. And there is like this whole world that is online, which is the beauty of the internet, that I think that even though we might be feeling like isolated at home, do not forget that there's a whole world. Everyone's roughly in the same situation right now. And I think we could definitely use the power of the internet to connect and to kind of fill those gaps in daily life, right? So that's the first thing I wanted to say. And I do, of course, and I should have said this first, I don't have any notes, you guys. I'm just like shooting it out right now. I am absolutely praying for each and every one of you and keeping all of you in my thoughts, the whole world in my thoughts and prayers. And I do hope that all of you are doing well. I hope that if any of you have been affected by like the COVID-19 virus, that you're doing well, that you're taking care of yourself. And just know that like my thoughts and prayers are with you, with your family, your loved ones, your community at this time. And I think this is a wonderful thing that we all need to be doing a little bit more, is kind of setting those intentions, making those prayers, sending that positive vibe out for the entire world, not just our own like immediate, community, but also the entire world, because I do think that these positive intentions are going to help uplift us in this time. And if you're someone who doesn't believe in any of that, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, right? But I definitely do, and this is my channel, so I'm mentioning it. Now, something that I was also thinking about that I wanted to share with you. This is the main point that I wanted to share with you guys. I know there's a lot of drama on the internet, on the TV, news, all this stuff, right? And the interesting thing for me is that when I look at my reality, right, I know there's a lot of people who are affected, and you may be one of those people. So far for me, if the news wasn't telling me there was something wrong right now, my life has not shifted at all. Like, there's nothing that feels different. None of my priorities are different. My life is the same. Yes, if you guys have been following me, you guys know I'm basically a hermit anyway. Like, I do work from home. I like to stay home. I do a lot of home-based things. I have my doggies, you know. I like to stay home, right? So I don't normally go out except for like once or twice a week anyway. So this is not really affecting me very much, right? I place a lot of orders on the internet. Amazon delivers them to my door, things like that. So for me right now, I haven't had any big change other than like the last time I did a grocery shop. I did like maybe 3 times the amount of groceries because, you know, there is this idea that, you know, there's this panic out there. And so I just want to make sure that I had enough supplies. Not necessarily because I'm afraid anything's going to go away, but just in case something does happen and like I do get sick, I don't want to have to go out for things. So I think you guys know I'm saying that, right? So I bought into the hype a little bit just to have like a stocked pantry. I'm not hoarding toilet paper or anything like that, okay? So like I have a normal amount of toilet paper in my house, stocked pantry. But other than that, it's business as usual for me, right? And what I was thinking about this is that it's funny to me that there are some people who are like, oh, there's woo-woo people out there who believe in like different dimensions and different versions of reality. There are different versions of reality going on right now. Like, the reality of my life is that nothing has changed, and I feel incredibly lucky and blessed for that. Do not you think that I don't. Every morning, I even have my journal in front of me right now. Every day in my journal, it's been like, I am so grateful that that this is the life I have right now, and that I'm not in a panic, that I'm not having to feel any sort of pressure. Like, I feel zero pressure. Like, honestly, like I said, if the news hadn't told me there was like something going on in the world that I should be worried about, this is the same life I would be living in like an alternate timeline. So I tell you this because I feel like it's important that we understand that all the drama, everything that's going on right now is a mental construct. Now, I'm not saying that the virus isn't mental. No, the virus is real. It's real, okay? But the drama, the stress, the panic, right? That is an imaginary construct, right? So if any of you are feeling very overwhelmed, I want you to remember that you have a choice when you wake up in the morning to feed into the drama, right? And let the drama affect you, or to go with the flow, to trust the powers that be, and to take stock of your personal priorities each and every day and just work through those, right? I realize that for many of you who are watching, perhaps, again, not necessarily me, but for many of you watching, your priorities every day have now shifted, right? Because your life has changed. Your life has been impacted. Either you're not going to work, your children are home, someone you know and love might be fighting the virus, right? So the best thing that we can do in terms of planning for this, right? I was thinking if I could share some sort of good planning tips for you guys. And it seems a little bit ridiculous, right? To like be really worried about planning. But I've realized that planning does give us a sense of a feeling of control and purpose, especially at a time where we might be like twiddling our thumbs like nerve-wracked. You know what I mean? So I think that the most important thing for us to do is to wake up every morning. And the first thing we should be doing, right, is, and I know if you don't get this, just please try. Meditation, okay? A little bit of meditation in the morning is going to do you wonders. There's plenty of free meditation tracks on the internet, on YouTube. If you just search like a guided meditation, you can find something. Get yourself, centered in the morning. And if you're someone who in the morning prays, let me tell you, that's meditation, okay? Praying is meditation. Using your mind to get calm, to center yourself, and to put yourself in an energy and an attitude that, you know what, I can handle what is being thrown at me today. That is what you need to do. I don't know if you know this, but there are many studies that actually show that if you do, like, I think it might be 15, 20, 30 minutes of meditation every day, that calming of your brain and your body actually ends up boosting I'm going to say this word wrong. Your immunoglobulin A, which is something that is a really important part of your immune system. Now, I'm not a doctor, right? I don't have you guys. I'm a person on the internet who designs things. That's all I am. But I do a lot of study into this sort of stuff. And obviously for myself, I'm researching like healthy things. But meditation could boost your immune system. And it does actually make sense. And if you guys, me with the metaphysical stuff and, the sort of body-mind connection that I talk about in previous videos, it makes sense that if we're stressed out, our body is in a panic. Your body is likely we've talked about this before, a high beta brain state. And what that does is it means that your body is sending resources to a place that if you're stressed for let's say nothing's happening and you're just panicked, nothing's happening as in your body doesn't have anything going on. Like you're not fighting off a virus. You don't have any other underlying things that your body has to be sending, resources to. Your body, that's what's going on when you stress out. You are actually sending resources, almost like a false flag in your own body. So when you can calm yourself, your body can actually do the thing that it's meant to do, right? Your body can actually fight things off that are coming in. If you happen to be exposed to anything, not just the COVID, but like anything that's going on, you guys, like there's still flu season, people still get colds. This is just like a general best practice for life. And one of the reasons why I like to start my day with meditation, this morning I woke up and it was a little bit after 5. I always naturally wake up a little bit after 5 and I turn on a meditation track and I lay there in bed. And I actually, because I wake up so early, I don't like to leave the bed that early. That's ridiculous. So I like to put on an hour or 2 hour meditation track. And what ends up happening is usually after the first 30, 40 minutes, I actually fall back asleep a little bit until it's time for me to actually get out of bed. And that's a wonderful way to wake up in the morning. It's such a beautiful way to wake up in the morning. So I highly recommend it. So, okay, step 1 for planning for this uncertain time. That's what we'll call this. Planning for uncertain times. Number 1, start your day with a little bit of meditation. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour meditation track like me, just a little bit of meditation. Give yourself enough time that your mind and your body get into alignment of calm, of relaxation, so that your body can properly send resources where it needs to be for your best defenses, okay? Number 2, I think that when we get up in the morning and we're going and looking at our planners and we're getting down to business for the day, you take a little bit of time to evaluate what your priorities are in this moment, right? Again, some of our priorities have changed right now, Some of our priorities used to be work-related things and now they're not. Some of our priorities used to be maybe, just working on other tasks and now we have children we have to care for during the day, right? Identify what those top three, right? We're still using all the same productivity and planning principles here. Identify those 3 priorities for your day right now. Not your ideal day if we were not in a panic, right? Because I think that's one of the problems that I definitely sometimes can get into is sometimes I can plan for priorities that I would like to be my priorities, even though they're not the current priority. And when it comes to planning now, with, the uncertainty that we've got in our time here, we say there's uncertainty, but you have control over what you take action on and what you move forward. So just identify those priorities, those objectives of what would be really great for you to get done today. Get those things done as soon as you can, right? Work on those things. Spend the time with your children. Develop whatever the, homework plan is. I don't know if schools are sending children home with homework or not. Kind of figure out what those important things are that you might need to work on at home for your job, right? Get those priorities straight, right? And let the rest of the day flow, right? From a place of ease and peace. Maybe mute the TV, right? Or change the channel, right? So we don't have to be listening to things that are drama-filled. Obviously, have that dedicated news source that is a reliable news source that's going to give you the important information on what's going on in terms of closings, in terms of, best practices that might be coming out from the powers that be, the people who are kind of, keeping that eye on everyone to kind of contain the situation right now and to create the best possible outcome. And that's it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You have free will. You live in your own version of reality. And that's a wonderful thing. What I'm just here to remind you guys is that we don't have to feed into panic. We don't have to feel alone, right? Ask for help, right? Ask for help if you need help. Reach out to people that you need to reach out to people for. And I'm honestly, I'm definitely of the mindset. There's this quote I love to use. I wish I remembered where it came from right now, but we're just kind of doing this off the cuff. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so, right? What's going on in the world right now? it is not for Alexis to judge whether or not it is good or bad, right? It just is what it is. If I view it as bad, I might panic, right? So I'm going to choose to see it as an opportunity for me to be refocused on new priorities, right? Like I said, my priorities honestly haven't really changed that much. Although I have, sitting here making this video, I am saying that like I would like to perhaps create some new content for you guys. I'm thinking like if everyone's at home, let me make you some videos or something. Just let me know what you guys want to see, you know? I feel like this is one of those times where like a lot of businesses, or I don't know about you guys, but like every email list that I'm on for every business has sent me an email that's like, what we're doing to protect you against COVID. I can't send that email out because we were digital to begin with. You know what I mean? I don't have employees. Nothing changes for me in my business. I'm here for you. I'm definitely saying to you that I would like to show up and give you guys some new content that even if it's like weird stuff, you know, like is not usual, I just want to help you guys get through this and keep you as, you know, level-headed about it as possible. Like a friend that you can come to that's going to like kind of have that good chat and you feel good about yourself. And you're like, okay, I feel better now. I would like to be that for you right now if you're lacking that right now. But I bet you do have people in your life to reach out to. So reach out to people, check on people, you know, just make sure everyone's like feeling the positive vibes, you know? So that's all I had to say. I hope that this gave you some food for thought, right? And that you kind of can see that you have the ability to focus on what's important, what your priorities are. Don't buy into the hype. I'm not saying there's not a legitimate reason to be hyped up. I'm just saying that we could be in this global panic and still not feel the panic ourselves, right? Right? There are people like me who that's my reality, you know? Blessed, so blessed and lucky. That may not be your situation, but you can choose to come at this from a place of problem solving, a place of adjusting your priorities and still feeling like you're being productive and also, you know, taking the time to rest, right? If this has put plans on hold, I'm sure there's people like, I can only imagine, I was just saying this the other day to someone, I can only imagine being like a senior in college or in high school, right? This was your last semester and everything's being pushed back now, I'm sure, you know? It's like, it's going to be a waiting period for a lot of people. And I actually think it's interesting because we're also in, not to be like too like spiritual, religious sort of stuff, we're in Lent right now as well, which is in the Christian calendar, like a period of, we would say like waiting, right? You're in a period of waiting, waiting for the spring, waiting for, you know, in terms of what Lent is for, waiting for the rise of Jesus Christ. You know, if that doesn't resonate with you, just something I was thinking that this is an interesting time for all this to be happening. But yeah, there's possibly renewal coming in some form, right? We don't see it right now. We don't have all the plans. We're not the one who's supposed to be making all the plans. All we can do is control the world that we are in, the bubble that we're in, and putting our, you know, focus on the priorities that are important to us and going from there and being nice to each other and kind to each other, right? And not like hoarding toilet paper. I think that's the funniest thing. You know why I think it's funny that people are hoarding toilet paper? I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, toilet paper is not like one of those highly unique substances, not a substance, but you know what I mean, materials, right? Like there's so many things you can use for that purpose that I don't know why toilet paper itself has gone like, not paper towels too, and like napkins, tissues. You know, there's so many different things you could use. I mean, just cloths, right? You just wash cloths. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be gross or anything. I just think it's funny that like this one thing that actually isn't very, it's not like it's very specific. Like you need that, right? It's crazy. It's nuts. But it is the world right now. It is what it is. There's nothing either good or bad. Thinking makes it so. Focus on the things you can control, the priorities that you have, and making your bubble, right, as positive as it can be. And we just see what happens from here, right? We just go with the flow. I'm going to trust that the powers that be, right, are going to make a plan that's going to see us through. That's the way I choose to look at this. And I hope that you choose to look at this from a more positive light as well. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well. Again, I wish you all of the health that you can possibly have. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you guys stay safe. And yeah, check in on each other, check in on family members, neighbors, do what we can for each other while remaining safe. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.